Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. Hope you're doing good. We're going to be talking about student loan debt today and how big the crisis is and how it backs up my theory of the dollar whippet theory that I came out with in June, that we are going to move from inflation to deflation. And then what I believe is going to be very scary is going to be hyperinflation. And so we're going to talk about this student loan debt. And this was out of Yahoo. I'm going to link the story below. It's entitled essentially Student Loans. We have about 75 days until essentially catastrophe. And I do believe that's actually partially true. And I do not think that the government's going to move it down the line too much longer. So the story starts with 89% of student loan borrowers with full-time jobs are not ready to restart their payments. It says that half will spend 1/3 of their payment of their income paying off debt. And they will be more price strapped or cash strapped as we move into this period of inflating prices all around. Okay, so it's one thing to say that you have student debt, because if you don't remember, or if you don't have student debt, let me catch you up. Student debt payments were suspended for a period of time while the country was dealing with this situation. And so it gave people time to catch up with income due to lost income or revenue, and now that's going to end on February 1st. So on February 1st it ends. Student Debt Crisis Center, which is a tech startup, released these recent results, and they've been tracking all of this data. And a couple of things that I found really interesting was, since June, 89% of employed people that have student loan debt are confident that they can't make their payments. They understand how big that payment is. They're dealing with rising prices, inflation across the board, and 89% of them say they do not believe that they can make this. 27% of the respondents to their inquiries say that 1/3 of their income is going to be going to debt payments, period. So 1/3 of the respondents said that 27% of them said that 1/3 of it's going to payments. Now that's all debt payments, not just student loan payments. But if you remember, I've talked about this in my real estate videos, and I've said, you're bumping the top of a real estate market when a mortgage payment comes to be about 2/3 of the average borrower's payments, monthly income, right? 2/3 of their income is their mortgage payment. So if you have 2/3, I wish I had a whiteboard around here to deal with, but oh well. I don't have my cardboard with me. When you only have 1/3 of your income left to pay your bills and your living expenses, your vacations, food, things like that, you've been hitting that real estate market top. 1/3 is where I like to be at when the house payment is 1/3 of the average income. In any location, I know that I'm in a sweet spot for buying real estate. Now, they say that out of that group of people that they were surveying, 1 out of 10 of those people say that half of their income, and remember, these are fully employed people, they're saying 1 in 10 say that half about 50% of that is their student loan debt. 50% of their income is going to go to student loans. So that's absolutely undoable, unbearable. Now, I want to give you guys a couple of things to think about. How many of the people that responded to that inquiry, and to give you an idea, student debt has never been larger in history, all right? And it is the only debt that you cannot, unless something's changed, because things are changing every day, it seems like. It's hard to keep up sometimes. But it is the only debt that you cannot get rid of through bankruptcy proceedings, okay? It's a personal guarantee tied to that, and it is rock solid, all right? So how many of those people that took out student loans are now paying them off, because you don't usually start paying those off, right, until you're done with school, have went out and gotten not only a full-time job, like they say in these surveys, but also bought a home? Now think about that. Before all this started a couple years ago, these people were happily paying for their student loan, they're fully employed, they're excited about life, they went out and bought a house. Now, They're about to hit a wall because for the last year, possibly a year and a half, they have been met with not having to make those payments. And a lot of people, like in 2006, 2007, they're out getting themselves into different types of debt, stretching themselves leaner than they should. And when they are hit with rising interest rates, I'm sorry, not in 2006, 2007, more like 2004, 2005, when they were hit with rising interest rates on their homes, they could not sustain it. And what I believe we're seeing is a perfect storm. And that is that these payments are going to need to resume in February, and there's going to either be a crisis. And I believe there's always a crisis before there's a solution, just so you know. The government's not going to just change the rules and say, okay, you can expunge this or get rid of this in bankruptcy, or we're going to loosen the lending standards, like stretch the payments out longer, lower the interest rates, things like that. They don't do that until there's a crisis, all right? So do I believe there's going to be a crisis in the springtime just involving student loan debt? Yes, I do. Now, don't take that as training advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a dude with a bro hawk and a dream. But I want you to understand how the magnitude of this. These people that went and got student loan debt and successfully got their college degree, a lot of them went out into the workforce and they continued being successful by buying a home. They did everything that the American dream showed them success was. And now we're at a time, because of inflation, and yes, it's not transitory. Hyperinflation right now is transitory. Where they're about to have to make a decision to not pay those bills. And I think that we're going to see some insane movements on both Wall Street and Main Street. Guys, I hope you got something out of this. I'm going to link the article below. With that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.